Once upon a time in the quiet forest of Evergreen, there lived a small green frog named Freddy. Now, Freddy was no ordinary frog. He possessed incredible superpowers, the ability to jump higher than the tallest trees, stick to any surface with his sticky tongue, and even shoot lasers from his eyes. But Freddy was not content with simply lounging around and using his powers for fun. He had always dreamt of going on an adventure and using his extraordinary abilities to help others. One sunny morning, as Freddy hopped along the riverbank in search of his morning snack, he heard a faint cry for help coming from deep within the forest. Without hesitation, Freddy darted towards the sound, his cape made of lily pads fluttering behind him. As he approached the clearing, a dramatic scene unfolded before his eyes. A family of squirrels stood helplessly on a tall, swaying tree that had been struck by lightning. The branches were precariously close to breaking, and it seemed as though the squirrels were destined to plunge into the deep ravine below. Freddy knew that he had to act quickly. With a mighty leap, he reached the lowest branch and used his sticky tongue to secure it. He then guided the terrified squirrels, one by one, safely down to the ground. The grateful family of squirrels thanked Freddy profusely, their tiny voices filled with relief. News of Freddy's heroic act spread throughout the forest like wildfire, and soon animals from all corners sought his help. Whether it was rescuing a baby bird trapped in a nest or retrieving a lost acorn from the top of a gigantic tree, Freddy fearlessly used his superpowers to bring joy and safety to those in need. However, not everyone in the forest viewed Freddy as a hero. A mischievous rat named Rusty, who had always longed for the spotlight himself, grew incredibly jealous of Freddy's popularity. Consumed by envy, Rusty devised a wicked plan to tarnish Freddy's heroic image. One gloomy afternoon, when the forest was shrouded in a thick mist, Rusty snuck into Freddy's secret lair hidden beneath a giant toadstool. He carefully tampered with Freddy's superpowers, weakening them little by little until they were nearly useless. Rusty cackled with glee, confident that with Freddy's powers rendered feeble, he could finally win the admiration of the forest creatures. Unaware of Rusty's deceit, Freddy woke up the following morning excited for his next heroic feat. But to his shock and dismay, when he tried to jump, he only managed a feeble hop. His one sticky tongue couldn't even hold a small leaf, and his laser-shooting eyes produced nothing more than a flickering spark. Confused and disheartened, Freddy retreated to his lair, unable to face the forest that had once hailed him as their savior. Days turned into weeks, and Freddy became a mere shadow of his former self. The animals he had once saved grew desperate as their pleas for help fell on deaf ears. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the forest became shrouded in darkness, a timid young fawn stumbled upon Freddy's lair. Startled at first, the fawn quickly realized who he was and asked Freddy for help. It seemed that the fawn's mother was caught in a hunter's trap and was in great danger. Freddy's heart ached at the fawn's plea, despite his own feelings of powerlessness. Determined to make a difference, he summoned the last ounce of strength and courage within him and hopped towards the trap door. Though his jumps were weak, Freddy managed to reach the hunter's trap. Using every ounce of his diminished powers, he carefully released the doe and reunited her with her grateful fawn. The forest, which had fallen into disarray without Freddy's help, rejoiced at the return of their true hero. Little did Freddy know, this act of bravery had been witnessed by a wise old owl perched high atop a tree. The owl, with his keen eyes, had seen Rusty sabotage Freddy's powers weeks before but had refrained from intervening, wanting to test Freddy's true spirit. Impressed by Freddy's unyielding determination and unwavering courage, the owl silently flew to a nearby crystal-clear pond. With a wave of his wing, he summoned the mystical powers within the water, which had the ability to restore any lost strength. The water shimmered with a golden light, ready to heal Freddy's powers. As Freddy hopped towards the pond, a glimmer of hope and anticipation filled his heart. He plunged into the sparkling water, which enveloped him in a gentle warmth. The golden light seeped into every fiber of his being, rejuvenating his superpowers even more potent than before. Emerging from the pond, Freddy marveled at his restored abilities. His jumps now soared higher than ever, his tongue clung to surfaces with unmatched stickiness, and his eyes shot lasers that illuminated the forest with a brilliant display. Word of Freddy's incredible transformation spread throughout the forest, and animals flocked from far and wide to witness the return of their beloved hero. As for Rusty, he cowered in the shadowy depths of the forest, consumed by regret and shame. From that day forward, Freddy continued his adventures, using his superpowers to protect and bring happiness to all who crossed his path. And though there were many challenges and dramatic situations along the way, Freddy's unwavering bravery and indomitable spirit always prevailed, making him a true legend in the enchanted forest of Evergreen.